Happy first day of the new league year. The 2023 season is officially the past. It should be a holiday. The NFL will have to settle for getting more attention than the NBA and MLB put together today, though. The Las Vegas Raiders made great strides in the second half of 2023 under then interim head coach Antonio Pierce after a disastrous first half. With Pierce as a full-time guy and Telesco as the GM now, Raider Nation has been wondering what kind of team the Raiders will build. If today is any indication of how the Raiders are building it, they're building a hell of a team. I'm trying to remember the last time they had a first day of free agency go this well. That's why Raider Nation is celebrating. Why did the second half of the season go so much better for the Raiders? Of course it was the defense. Pierce allowed defensive coordinator Patrick Graham to run the defense his way, and the Raiders had the number one defense over the second half of the season. So how good could the defense be if the Raiders had a dominant interior defensive lineman to go with edge rusher Maxx Crosby? Well, we're about to find out because they just went out and got Christian Watkins. Watkins was number 9 in pressures among interior defensive linemen with 61 and tied for 7th in sacks with 9. Crosby's somewhere smoking a cigar because he's going to see a lot more one-on-one blocking with Wilkins in the fold. Oh, we can't forget about fellow edge rusher Malcolm Koonce. He had 8 sacks in the second half of the season after riding pine the first half. We can't forget about 2023 first-round pick Tyree Wilson either. I can't wait to see him rushing inside along with Wilkins. The Raiders definitely need that playing against Patrick Mahomes and Justin Herbert. The Raider defensive line is one of the best in the NFL now. Here's something that went right that the Raiders didn't have anything to do with. Quarterback Kirk Cousins left the Minnesota Vikings for the Atlanta Falcons. Who is that more devastating for, the Vikings or the Chicago Bears? The Vikings just lost their franchise quarterback, so it's pretty bad for them. As for the Bears, they were holding out for as much as they can get for Justin Fields, but they're losing their leverage now. The Falcons, Raiders, Vikings, Pittsburgh Steelers, and New England Patriots were the 5 teams that were in on Fields, but the Steelers were out first with the acquisition of Russell Wilson. Then right after that, I heard the Patriots are holding on to the number 3 overall pick to get a quarterback. Then, of course, the Falcons just got Cousins, so that leaves the Raiders and Vikings, and I don't think the Bears want to trade Fields to a team in the division. He's still so young and developing. The Bears really misplayed the situation. If they have any sense at all, they'll humble themselves and make a trade before Fields' value goes down even more. It's not going to go up the further we go. Free agency hasn't been perfect for the Raiders, though. They lost 2019 first-round running back Josh Jacobs, who was a part of the heart and soul of the team. He was a great player for the Raiders as he's second to only Derrick Henry in yards rushing since 2019. And of course there was 2021 when he literally ran the Raiders into the playoffs. The Raiders had to win each of their last 3 games to get in the playoffs, and Jacobs helped them win them all by rushing for 108 yards per game. Then there was the run that put the season finale away against the Los Angeles Chargers in the closing minutes to clinch that playoff spot. I'm very grateful to him for that moment. I was butthurt about him signing with the Green Bay Packers at first, but then I realized there's no need for that. Zamir Zeus White showed he can handle the load in his stead last year. The Raiders running game will be just fine. Oh, the Raiders also lost right tackle Jermaine Illuminor. I don't see that as a big loss though, because as you guys know, I always thought Thayer Munford was better. The Raiders have to replace that depth though. It's so hard to say goodbye to yesterday with Jacobs. Okay, not really. He's going to do fine in Green Bay and the Raiders are going to do just fine without him. Losing Jacobs and Illuminor didn't ruin my day at all. Oh yeah, that's right. They lost interior defensive lineman Bilal Nichols too. I forgot to even mention him. I guess that's what happens when you get one of the most dominant defensive linemen in the NFL. I can't wait to see Wilkins in the silver and black. With him and Crosby, the Raiders have one of the most dominant defensive fronts in the NFL now. It was a great day for the Raiders. Thank you for watching. See you next time.